Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in my white, doing what I do for you. I got a nice lesson today. It's the Q&A because at the lesson with Asset, I still got one more thing before we wrap her up. So we're going to do this one. I'll be right with you. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in, receive them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. Right thing is mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thing is way of life. Through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where I'm going with this? So I asked the question, excuse me, do you know you? If not, tune in. It's rhetorical. If you know how to answer yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you so you can know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they even know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. Okay, I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. I think is know that self. And you know the deal. To my yacht, be true. It's a Q&A. Like I tried to explain before you started. It's a Q&A because after every chapter, you have a Q&A to see what you learned. So this is going to be a quick one. Nice page and a half worth of information that I think is useful. Usually I would call it fluff, but after going over it, no, this could be a good lesson here. So let's go. I just wanted to expound on a particular question that was asked in the last session. And the question was about the seductiveness, the sexuality of the world embodied by the principles of Nethet, nature, mortality. It entices you, it draws you in. That's the worldly things, and that's fine. And the principles of Nethet, which what? Which manifest as what? As all the things of the world that what? Entice you and that sexually interest you. Okay? The physical senses, you like to feel good. And sexual is part of feeling good. That sexual energy. Got to do something with it, got to go somewhere. And in your youth, we just got a bunch of it. So we just go crazy. Understand that. But with control, well, we're going to get to the lesson. Sorry about that. Let me just read the lesson out. So the idea is to get better at what? Controlling it. Be it wonderful, be it a wonderful sports car, which what? Which has all the nice curves in it, or a nice some nice clothing on a woman, curves showing up, accentuate her curves, and how to deal with that. Your desires, your physical urges, your sexual desires. Okay. How do you overcome them? Ding, 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 ding. If more people would ask that question, I got a word here I bet young people don't have a clue about. As we discussed, there are two levels of handling the world, in the physical world. One is, you ready? Is in spiritual discipline, where the way of abstaining. Yeah, abstain. What's abstaining? Going without sexual pleasures, meaning no sex. Oh no, I know. You young person, they hear that, they're gonna lose their mind. Abstaining meaning to be under control. Young people, we haven't been teaching them at an early age to control their lower nature, so it's really gotten out of control. So, but the whole idea is to teach them at an early age to abstain. But watch this. This is not going to work forever. Here you go. We already know that. But if you do not have at least a higher mystical or some authority with insight helping you along, it's not going to work for long. Why? It will eventually fail. They're going to give in to their urges. Watch this. You can abstain, but deep down, what are you doing? You are going to continue those desires. And because the fundamental cause of the desires has not been what? Resolved. You fighting them off. You doing all right. You doing that temptation. Why keep tempting yourself to something if you was a former drug user? Why would you go back in that environment to test yourself to see if you can fight the urges? Avoid that. You won't have that issue to deal with. That's the first thing. Change environment. That's the only thing. But when you desire, that's for the flesh, you have to get control of yourself. Your desires, again, are going to build up. Man, I got to release. I got to get, yeah, your urges. That's just mental. Okay. The physical don't give two craps. It's between the ears. Okay. It becomes physical once you do the act. But the thought of sex, watching porno, that's get you all aroused up. But the actual fact of it, yeah, now you starting to go the other way. Why? You done gave in. You done submitted. And it's going to build up. And eventually, just like that climax, you're going to explode. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's just the way it is. Unless you can put it and compartmentalize it and control it, harness it, and use it the way it's intended to benefit you. Not to, man, I've been there, done that, trying to tell young people. And there has to be regulation. For example, okay, very quick. If you are a person, I like to use the sex, who are constantly having sex on what? A daily basis. First of all, we already know. Back in them days, yeah, he was still trying it. That won't work. They call it the roaring 20s for a reason. Yeah, that, man, you just got energy to burn. There's a story about nature, but I ain't got time for that right now. But you're roaring with energy and sexual vibration. You just vibrancy. You just, man, that thing, you can just go and go. Okay, but if you're doing it every day basis, okay, but what? Break it down. If you want to get better at it, break it down to what? Every other day, and then break it down to one time a week. Oh, whoa, man, wait a minute, hold up. Yeah, it's called getting control. It's called giving up your pleasures. Okay, disappointing yourself with the pleasures that you think you need or you want. Once you learn to deal with disappointment of those things, you're getting better. If you do it, you regulating what? Yourself. Nobody can do it for you. It's you. It is, now what's that? If it's a 4 to 5 times a month, you're trying to break down that. If you went from day to day to 4 or 5 times a month, that means you're starting to regulate. That's fine. You do it, or you do it 2 or 3 times, that kind of thing, whatever it is. But you gain what? Some kind of control. And controlling whatever your vice is what allows your personality to gain space, a separation between the senses and the objects that agitates the mind and resonates with what your unconscious. You got a conscious mind, subconscious, unconscious. Your unconscious mind is present at what? Judgment day. If anything you didn't do in your waking, the subconscious mind goes over to the unconscious. That's the concept. And what happens? You have unconscious impressions, and that will what? Impel the personality to what? Continue what? Pursuing its illusionary fulfillment of sexual pleasures and the fulfillment or the concept of what? Happiness through sexual pleasures. Whatever you're going on before you had sex, after you had sex, it's going to still be going on. So you ain't did nothing but just release yourself and have some pleasure. You ain't changed nothing. Moving on. And this is called disciplinary aspects that needs to be practiced first. Gain control of your lower nature. If you begin in understanding that the illusionariness of what you are pursuing, pleasures, money, fortune, fame, what happens now? The illusionariness of your desires and whatever they may be, now you can begin to at least understand how, what much time you are really wasting on them. Chase your tail, so to speak, okay? If you are pursuing worldly things, you are pursuing something that cannot fulfill you. I've been telling you that for the longest. Happiness can't be fulfilled through worldly objects, things, people, or places. Moving on. The people now, this if this you don't know nobody like this, it's you. The people who pursue illusions are the people who are in the dark. Believers, people who are caught in delusion and belief. Delusions may be defined as what? As the inability to perceive and act based on truth and reality. That means you living in a fairy tale. You living in a not real world. Delusion means not real. And realizing you are following an illusion helps you to at least to what? Reduce the intensity of that belief system you follow, the illusion that you think you have to have. Once you start to come to grips of it, you start to fall back, let go, start to realize it. And what? It's also a psychological aspect of what? Your desires. And that also affects your what? Physiology, the physical body, your physical cravings. When you're doing that drug heroin, when you start body start to crave it, you don't have it, you're gonna get sick physically. So that's a real deal. And when your dependency is on the pursuit and the fulfillment of what? Your sexual pleasures, desires as a means for satisfaction, you will lose the game in life. Why? You're never going to advance past your lower nature. So you never get conscious. You never become a whole person. That's why. Let me wrap it up for you. I see the clock going. I got a nice little time, but we're only halfway through. I'm hoping I'm making my point. If someone asks you to put a fire out, would you want to throw gasoline on it? Concept. A person who doesn't know what gasoline and fire will do together, meaning they're ignorant of that combination, they will go ahead and do it. Why? Because of ignorance. You don't do a lot of things just wrong. But if you're ignorant, you don't know if it's right or wrong, and you're going to do it anyway. More examples coming on. That's what I'm trying to show you. I can say a whole bunch, but I'm going to let this lay yourself out. This does it even better. They don't know. Watch this. Ignorant means that they don't know any better. Didn't Christ say, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do? When you're doing something that you ain't knowledgeable of or you believe has caused a whole lot of problems. So that's a problem. And you will also now, what? Do it if you what? Have forgotten what you're supposed to learn. If you don't remember, here we go, history. If you don't learn nothing from it, you're doomed to repeat it. Life, if you learn from it, you're going to repeat it. Same concept. Why? Because you have now put it in your what? Your mind for so long. Also, now you would do it, what? Even if you know what will happen if you can't control yourself because of the pressures of the psychological or the physical cravings that come because becomes irresistible when you just can't. If you're a pervert, you can't stop messing with kids. You're a freak. You can't stop doing freaky stuff. Those are things that you can't mentally and physically control. Why? Because if you keep thinking it, you're going to start doing it. Now it becomes physical. It becomes an action. And that irresistible, if you're not strong enough in your strength sense, it will what? Allow you to build up over a long period of time. It just keeps mounting up. Like anything else, pressure. It's got to release sooner or later. Got to release it. And this is what most people do in the world of physical, looking for pleasures in the world, searching for this, searching for that, thinking they're going to find it in this and that and whatever. Okay, they are like a dog. I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but watch this. They are like dogs. We all know that a dog will eat something and what? That will make them sick. When I did heroin, when I first come out the box, it had to throw up. I said, my man, I don't need to get sick to get high. I don't want that. So when you do that, your body's telling you it don't want it, so it regurgitates it. And a dog, watch this, a dog will do something that'll make him sick and then what? Go back and eat it. And what? After they have vomited it up. We seen, I don't do dogs, but we seen them do that. Dude, really, But this is the concept you're trying to tell you. To do something that you know is wrong, it's just like that, conceptually. But now, with human beings in the world, here you go, their problem is what? Compounded. Why? Because sometimes people do things they know are wrong. But do them. Why? Because the desires, the pleasures are overwhelming their capacity to exert what? willpower, restraint, discipline of their own personalities. So they what? They act in accordance with what? Their intellect, and that's what dictates what their actions are. If you have low self-esteem, low intellect, you ain't too smart on how to raise your consciousness, so you're gonna do constantly what? The wrong thing. We call them fetters, self-inflicted. Let me wrap this up for you again. Hope the lesson's getting across. I'm trying to break down to you, and this is gonna do it for right here, right here. This is the coup de grace. There is another aspect, here you go, another aspect that needs to be developed and mastered from Asset. This may sound strange, watch this, to you, but it is actually spoken of in what? Scripture. It is, you ready? Disgust. That's how I feel right now about this presidential election nonsense. I'm totally disgusted. Watch this. You must learn how to be disgusted with what? With things going on in time and space. Disgusted with what? Your own fallibilities, which is your own personal problems, your own faults, and your own what? Self-ignorance. You should be disgusted with yourself. Why? Because you're allowing yourself to be dealt with in a manner that's not going to be good for you. In the Per M. Haru textbook, Book of Coming Dead, this is referred to as what? You ready? Excrement. We know it as BS. Take the boot off, and that's what it is. Excrement. That's not good. Then what? You learn how to practice pursuing the truth tenaciously. Like I said, she wasn't taking no for answer from Ra. She got what she wanted from Ra, okay? And that's what the concept is for you to be that diligent on what it is you want out of life, what you want to give up for it, what you want to do for it. Everybody make the deal. That devil always got a deal for you. What you want to give me? Your soul? Okay. How much are you willing to sacrifice for what you want? And then what happens? When you follow that, you go at what you want with tenacity, like I said, that's mastering her. And that's the best part about every individual. And then what happened? Eventually, you will find that what? You have something else to hold on to that is more satisfying. Hear me? More satisfying, in other words, more attractive in other ways. Those who have what? Developed their higher capacity, raising it past that, the worldly things I said, wisdom and knowledge, they have what? Discovered what? Something that is even more enchanting than the worldly physical pleasures. Ding, 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 ding. That's the spirituality. That's the awakening. And that never lead to what? Abiding happiness. Nothing physical can lead you to happiness. Is you reaching it within yourself by what? Being your best self, and you will be rewarded with that. This actually can be another problem. Why? Because there are mental pleasures that a lot of us just can't seem to let go of. Higher mental seductiveness aspects, watch this, of time and space. They are actually what? A bigger problem. Than what? The physical ones. You get past the lower nature. Okay, now you go into that deceit world. It ain't so much the physical thing. It's so much now you want to manipulate people. You want to play that little game. And watch this. It ain't so much. It's bigger than the physical. And believe it or not, but the lady I said, she transcends all of that. Okay? I said, before she regained her full goddess status, put all that aside. She didn't care about nothing. She laid it on the line, so to speak. And she was revered as what? As a healer, a master sailor, okay, a scientist, and she had many other achievements. She was looked up to and revered in the world, and she gave all that up. Why? Because she could have anything she wanted to have, but she gave it what? All up to have WRIGHT. That's wisdom personified. She represents intuitive knowledge, aka wisdom. And that's what she wanted. Sound familiar? Yeah, King Solomon asked for the same thing. I want wisdom. Yeah, we've been there already. I said got that already. So what we will give up in order to what? Transcend. What you willing to part with. Most people will sell their soul, what? For the pleasure of the world. That's the devil. That don't work. We find that out as we go. But those who serve the Lord, God, whatever religion, I don't care. But those who serve him in earnest, you're rewarded. That's the difference. Would you sit down, watch this, would you sit around saying the world is so strong and I cannot overcome it? The things of the world. That means you can't overcome your physical body. That means your body is running your mind. I have to what? Give in to my desires. Are you kidding me? All the men and women are throwing themselves at me, and I can't do anything at all. If you desire physical stuff, that's fine. But if you're going against that, yeah, you just let it go. Let it go. Some of us can't. That's the higher level. Here we go, right there. TD Jakes. What does that say about you who cannot resist temptation? If you're an advocate for preaching and teaching those good things and you're not living them, you're the biggest hypocrite going. Yeah, you should for the same. Why? And God does that. He shamed those who do it in his name. And if every chance he get, he'll pull the wool off them and expose them. That's my job too, as a person, a truth teller. Don't believe them guys telling you a bunch of lies. And if you, at least if you're gonna follow that concept, be honest with it. I ain't got a problem with those, but if you're a perpetrator of anything, I got a problem with you. Moving on, let me wrap this up. I'm getting excited. What are you training for your mind? What? You're faking yourself out. You have the capacity, you have the choice of what you will turn your mind toward. What you believe and what you think about is where the focus and your energy is going. So that dictates what? Your IRE, your action. Again, what will that be? Your call. Good or bad? Simple as that. How would you act? What would you do? No, damn what Jesus to do. Y'all keep what would you man? You better figure out what you need to do for yourself. That's the bottom line. And who will you pursue? Remember that wisdom text. Again, the instructions of Merkara tells us what? That the Aru, which is your actions, stays with us when? Even after death. That unconscious stays there, your Aru, and that you perform. Watch this. The Aru that you perform stays with you when? As a residue in your unconscious mind at judgment time is going to come back and surface, and you're responsible. Watch this. So when it comes time, again, for judgment, your Ariel, which is your actions, steps forward. Karma brings you your stuff. Here you go. And it bears witness to what you have done in your life. So if you got treasure chest full of secrets and hidden stuff, at Judgment Day, all that's coming out. Simple as that. Moving on. And your goddess, Mishkanet, remember her? She's also associate of my girl, Mayat. It directs you where what you need to go. Where? To be reborn. Why? To learn a lesson in life. We're born in the position that they claim inside soul contract. I don't subscribe to that concept, but they're saying when you don't pass this test in life, you're gonna come back. They're trying to put you in a position, help you out a little better, help you out a little bit, put you in the right position to hopefully get what you want out of life. And the whole base of it is to know thyself. Whatever else you venture and want to endeavor, that's fine. But to reach them, accomplish them, and not know thyself, you'll be bad. Come on, let's understand that fact. So the IRE that becomes part of your content of your unconscious mind can be changed. How? By your present actions, feelings, and desires, and your understanding. And that is the way to what? Control your own destiny and change what? Your fate. You the captain. Remember, you driving this buggy. Where you take it is where it's going. Understand that. And what? Your fate, because you, when you change what? Your unconscious mind, you change the desires and you change the outlook as well as understanding and overstanding the world and its consequences and how you will approach the world. And this concludes the lesson for today. Hope you got a full understanding of aspects of your personality, which is wisdom, understanding, and knowing when and how to do what's right. That's the lesson. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinker like you passed away. Get ready for Asar.